avert your eyes for the next 2 minutes. You don't want to see this again.
Monaco,
Game 4.
let's leave.
Knicks, Pacers on Mother's Day. If you notice a shortage of Knick highlights in here, it's because there were none. Oh, Indiana just completely dominating.
Yes. Look, I was impressed with the way Indiana came out in this ball game. They were confident. They were alert. The field house was rocking, and they just capitalized.
Can we get back on defense, please? There was just nobody getting back.
This was the embodiment of a team operating on E.
Yes.
So take what you want from them.
And the Pacers, they love that because at home they're just unbelievable. Look at Obi Toppin going over the top. Again, no defense at all. That's what the Knicks have been all season. They don't have it here.
Everything you've seen so far, by the way, was in the first quarter. It was 34-14 at the end of the first.
Halliburton letting the world know. DiVincenzo, he can't guard me. Not him.
69-41 at the half, and it never got closer. Look, Jalen Brunson he's spent, as evidenced by the layup that he leaves short, and just everything is short with him. We actually have stats that show that all his shots are short. His lift just isn't there.
It's my college highlight package right there.
And that one isn't. That's Obi Toppin just throwing this one down. Look, we can talk all we want about the exhaustion of the Knicks, and it's real. The Pacers were brilliant yesterday. They've eaten up the series at 2 games apiece. Jalen, excuses?
We can talk about fresher legs. We can give us all the pity that we want. Yeah, we're shorthanded, but that doesn't matter right now. We have what we have, and we need to go forward with that. So there is no we're shorthanded. There is no excuse. There's no excuse whatsoever. Now, if we lose, we lose. So that's what that was.
Big Perk, the question we like to ask on this show is bad game or bad sign? If you're a fan of the Knicks, are you waking up this morning thinking, well, it was just a day to forget? Or are you thinking this is a sign that they are in serious trouble, undermanned in this series?
Well, look, the whole Knicks fan base, everybody need to keep a cool booty, okay? It was a bad game. That's it, right? An afternoon game where, the New York Knicks, they come out of game 3. It was a physical game. All of a sudden, you have an early game, and you can see it right there. The Pacers, they have their leg. They had their legs, and the New York Knicks, they didn't. But this is a series that's tied 2-2 with the New York Knicks having the home court advantage. They have an opportunity, 2 games. They have to win 2 out of 3 games on their home floor in Madison Square Garden where it's going to be rocking. I will tell you it's been a blessing in disguise for them. Getting blown out, and McBride and Alex Burke being able to play extended minutes. I believe Alex Burke, he had 20 points off the bench last night. McBride had 16, I believe it was. So now all of a sudden you give those guys a lot more confidence. Now you're going back to New York for a Tuesday night matchup in a hostile environment after a team got embarrassed, got their ass kicked. They had a coming to Jesus meeting. They're pissed off, and I expect the big 3, that's Josh Hart, Big Body Brunson, and Dante, to respond in great fashion and go out there and get the win.
So the Villanova 3, yes. Alec Burks had 20 points yesterday. Played great, actually, in both games this weekend. Miles McBride had 16. You were telling us this morning, and again, Wendy is in Indianapolis, by the way. He's got the Brady Bunch drapes behind him in the hotel there, which we all like. Tell Marcia dinner's ready. That's a different conversation.
Pork chops, applesauce.
Pork chops and applesauce. Alice is cooking it up downstairs. But anyway, no, I don't mean to get distracted here. You've been with them all week and everything else, Wendy, and the way they approached games 3 and 4, they sort of saw this one coming. 3 was the night. Friday night was the night for them.
Yeah, and I'll give Rick Carlisle credit because he made a major change in this series by putting Aaron Nesmith on Jalen Brunson. And they decided that they're just going to be very physical with Jalen Brunson, not when he gets in the lane, but when he gets the ball. And even if that means when he gets the ball 80 feet from the basket. And he has not been the same player against Nesmith. Just 9 of 27 shooting with Nesmith as the primary defender in games 3 and 4. Nesmith has done a great job against him the whole series. The other thing is the tracking data. The tracking data that we have from Second Spectrum shows us that over these last 2 games, Jalen Brunson is jumping about 2 inches shorter than he did during the, there's a lot of decimals in there, but I think it's about 2 inches. 2 inches shorter than he did throughout the regular season. And is that fatigue? Maybe. Is that because he rolled his left ankle in game 4? Maybe. Is that the right foot? Maybe. But in these 2 games, games 3 and 4, he left 10 jumpers short. And so you don't have to have next level analysis with these laser cameras to see that he's tired. And it's part of the Pacers' strategy. And so it's worrisome for the Knicks. The positive for the Knicks, there's just 2 games in the next 5 days. Caitlin Clark is having her debut for the Fever here on Thursday. So game 6 will not be until Friday. So the Knicks have home court advantage in a 3-game series. Do get an extra day between 5 and 6 because they're going to need it because they had tired legs yesterday.
Yeah, this series will go Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, the rest of the way if it goes that far. The other piece of this, and yes, injuries are what they are, and give the Pacers credit because they're taking advantage of their advantage in depth, and it's working. And the matchup, parenthetically, I've had guys in here all last week screaming to put Nesmith on Jalen Brunson. They made the switch on Friday, and that worked. But the reality is some things are excuses and others are just reasons. The Knicks are worn down by it's a war of attrition and they're losing it. Charles Barkley yesterday was pointing a finger at their coach. These two here cover the Knicks every single day. I'm dying to hear their reaction to what Chuck said. Listen.
No matter how tough the Knicks are, everybody gets tired, especially when you're playing against guys who are fresh.
I understand that, but we all know Thibodeau, he ain't going to change now.
Yeah, but listen, man.
He ain't going to change now.
Yeah, but and the Knicks going to pay for it in the long run. That's not right. This is the same stuff we just talked about in Chicago. As a coach, you have to learn from your mistakes. You just can't run guys in the ground. You're going to get hurt. That's why guys get hurt or tired.
Oh no! Look at Big Perk. I was going to start with Monica and Allen, but I think I can't not start with that. Go ahead, Big Perk. What is your reaction to that?
I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, what do you expect Tom Thibodeau to do, okay? You're missing Bogdanovich. You're missing OG Anunoby. You're missing Julius Randle. You're missing Mitchell Robinson. That's 4 key guys. I mean, what the hell is he supposed to do? I mean, he's giving Precious Achiuwa an opportunity to play. He went to Alex Burke. We seen McBride come in off the bench. That's just lazy, man. That's a lazy take, man. And again, to each his own when it comes down to their opinion, and I get it, right? The world keep blaming Tibbs and saying, he's playing these guys extended minutes or whatever the case may be. But in this case right here with the New York Knicks, who is he supposed to go to? He's supposed to suit you up, Greeny? I'm just asking. You want to play?
Greeny?
I've got 2 or 3 good minutes left in me here. Very quickly, I mean, you were saying exactly. You two were both saying it exactly.
No, Perk said it. Yeah. Remember, went into the playoffs missing an all-star in Julius Randle. During the playoffs, they've lost 3 rotation players. That's 4 rotation players out of an 8-man rotation, which pretty much everybody goes 8-man rotation, right? 4 players out of your rotation during the playoffs. You can't sign anybody. You'd love to go to Alumni Row. Can Stephon Marbury give you a few minutes? Can they sign? There's just nobody available. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at names. I'm thinking Mamadi Diakite. I don't even know who he is. He's supposed to play. So you got to play somebody. They're empty in the tank. They tried to do it in Game 3. It didn't happen. They have to somehow, some way survive it, but this is all they've got.
I think it's easy to look at Tibbs, but these guys want to play, and they are playing. And then in addition to, hindsight is going to be 20/20. Alec Burks averaging 17 points in the last 2 games is fantastic. During the regular season, he struggled to hit 30% from the 3-point line. He averaged 6.5 points. And so consistently now saying, he should have been in the rotation, that's not quite how it worked. And this team has had to play this way, Greeny, throughout the back half of the regular season.